If you've been thinking about buying a house here in Arizona, you may be asking yourself, is now even a good time to buy a house? With home prices, mortgage rates, and the market shifting, it can be a very overwhelming feeling to decide whether you should or should not buy a house in this market. But don't worry, I'm breaking it all out for you in this video. Stick around to the very end to hear my number one tip on how to get the best deal on a house here in Arizona. So let's start off by looking at the market in general. So real estate in general here in the Phoenix metro area. Now, just doing a quick Google search of the average home price here in the Phoenix area, the average home price is about $460,000. That is 6.7% higher than it was this time last year. And that's even considering the fact that mortgage rates were at all-time highs in the last year or 2 years in general. You saw people purchasing homes in this area, receiving mortgage rates in the 7-8%, but still getting out there purchasing homes at the list price or higher. That thus indicates that we're likely going to see an increase continue from this year until next year of home prices. Now, continuing to research here, just a quick Google search on the average days on market, you'll see average days on market for a house listed is 5 days longer today than it was a year ago. With higher average days on market and higher purchase prices, this is considered what we call a buyer's market. This means that a buyer going to get pre-qualified and shopping for a house will traditionally have the upper hand when they go and they find a house and they decide to purchase that particular house. What does this mean for you as the buyer? What this means is when you go to purchase a house and you find that house that you've actually been wanting, or after you look at 7 different houses and you find one that you're ready to write an offer on, your offer is more than likely going to get accepted or be a stronger offer today than what it was a year, 2, 3 years, especially 3 or 4 years ago today than it would be back then. This means that you have higher opportunity to get your offer accepted, asking for closing costs or conditions or repairs against the house. So you, as the buyer, have the upper hand as heading into the market to buy a house here in Arizona. Real estate inventory is also up year over year, and this is due to a few different factors. And one is going to be the affordability of mortgages nowadays. With interest rates hovering in the 6, 7, 8% over the course of the last year, affordability has been at an all-time low. This means that it is very, very hard or has become difficult for somebody as a first-time homebuyer entering the market to buy that median purchase price at $460,000 and be able to afford it after all of their expenses as well because of mortgage rates, which thus also affects how many homes sit on market for a longer period of time. So the average days on market is also going to be affected because of mortgage rates, because there's less people qualifying for mortgages nowadays as there were 2, 3, 4 years ago. So what are some pros and cons of actually buying a house here in Arizona nowadays? One of the benefits is going to be larger inventory. So as homes are sitting on market, more homes are coming as well onto market. And so you're going to have a larger pool of homes to go see and pick from as you're going through the process of buying a house. Additionally, another pro is going to be the sellers are willing to negotiate. Like I had mentioned, this is a buyer's market right now. So once you do find that house in the pool of homes that you're looking at, the sellers are going to be more than willing to negotiate with you on closing costs, on repairs, on anything as far as what's negotiated in that contract, because they don't want their house sitting on market longer than it already is. Another pro is, fortunately, with mortgage rates being as high as they are, you have the opportunity to refinance later down the road when and if mortgage rates drop. And so what I'm telling my buyers now is get out there, get pre-qualified, start looking for that house now while you have low competition in the market. And then we can continue reviewing things and looking at mortgage rates as months go on, years go on, and we can refinance to a lower rate, lower payment if it makes sense later down the road. What are some cons about buying a house right now here in Arizona? Number one thing, and then I'm always going to mention to my clients, is mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are higher right now, which means it's going to affect your affordability. Your monthly payment is going to be higher than what it was a year, 2, 3 years ago. Another con is the uncertainty of the market in general. We have no idea where the market's going to go. We can't tell you what's going to happen to real estate or what's going to happen with the economy. All we can say and show is the data around home prices increasing year over year and the market staying strong here in Phoenix. I told you I would tell you my number one tip. My number one tip for finding a good deal in this market is finding a house that has been on the market for 50 plus days. Okay. Go to Zillow, go to whatever website your realtor is sending you to, filter down to see homes that have been on the market for 50 days or more, because these sellers are going to be extremely hungry to receive an offer. I just had a buyer do this just this last week. We are under contract with a house that was sitting on market for 90 plus days because they had it a little bit overpriced. My realtor agent came in with my buyer that I was able to pre-qualify, and they went in, submitted an offer a little under list price, but also asked for 6% in seller concessions, meaning the seller is going to pay 6%. So all of the closing costs of my buyer are going to be paid by the seller, and they accepted it. So they accepted an offer below list price with 6% in concessions to pay the buyer's rate buy down and closing costs. Fantastic opportunity for these buyers because they listened and they went out and they filtered results for homes on the market 50 days or older. What do you think? Are you going to continue waiting or are you going to buy now? Drop a comment below. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to help my channel continue growing and help me continue helping home buyers here in Arizona and other states around the US. Thank you so much. I'll catch you on the next one.